Greetings, everyone, Qigong practitioners. Um, just before we get started, I'd just like to ask you to please be sure that you're muted so that we don't have any embarrassing cat episodes like we did last time. And of course, we'll talk at the end and, we'll unmute, but that'll keep you from being the main person on the screen. Okay, just as a reminder too, I checked I checked the YouTube channel, and quite a few people are watching this this at their convenience on YouTube, which is great. It's really nice to have this group here together practicing, and particularly at the end when we do the questions and comments. Okay, well, let's just begin as we do with standing. And lengthening and focusing on the out breath. And moving our attention with the out breath down the body. And then the in breath, the body sort of straightens up a little bit. And the out breath, all the muscles and joints begin to relax from the top down. So this beginning posture is an exercise in uprightness and balance, and at the same time in relaxation. So being relaxed while standing. It sort of flies in the face of the teachings of this culture, which is that if you're going to be relaxed, you need to be in your easy chair, maybe with a beer in one hand and a remote control in the other, and then you can relax. So the very idea that you can be relaxed standing is a bit of a paradigm shift a little bit. So, but relaxed, in order to be relaxed in this position, we also need to be upright, so we're not slumping. So, and one of the reasons for this is because there's an emotional climate associated with all the various body postures. So if we're standing like this, the emotional content of this is something like depression. It's certainly not energetic. Where if we're standing at attention, like a soldier, the emotional content is very rigid. So just by assuming this posture, the field or the climate, the emotional climate that we're creating and experiencing is one of being simultaneously upright and relaxed. So upright plus relaxed equals open. So there's an openness. Okay. Okay, well, let's bow to the directions. A Native American friend of mine says you start with the east. So if you know which way east is, that's good. Otherwise, just pick one. So east is the beginning. It's where the sun rises. So it's birth. So let's bow to the east. and then turning to the right, and about to the south, and turning again to the west, and then the fourth direction, then to the north, and then turn again, and then go up. So touching, so we're stretching and extending our sense beyond the hands and out, up, okay, and then touching into all there is, and then here we're bending the knees and the waist, kind of doing a backwash, touching the ground. Then as we come up, then we bring one hand to rest either on the body or in front of the body at the area of the heart, and the other the abdomen. The 7 directions. So we start out acknowledging all the directions, so everything around us, all of space and time, basically. And then we bring that in to this body, this being here now. Okay, so let's just do the Tai Chi twist a little bit. I want to talk just a little bit about sort of the direction, the volition, or the thrust of this. And basically, in these practices, which are spiritually oriented, we're moving from the gross to the subtle to the very subtle. That's the movement that we're. That's the volition of these practices, and then from there we can move back down and include to where we include all of it. So if you think about this vertically, we are vertical beings. So in the Taoist teachings, the earth has a certain energy. That is the energy of nature, of rain and weather and avalanches and volcanoes and tides and just all the really harsh energy, unstoppable energy of nature. And the science associated that would be physics. So all of the forces of physics are the basic chi of the planet, and it pre-existed even the formation of the planet. It began with the Big Bang at the latest, actually. So that's the kind of the coarse chi. It's extremely powerful, and it's totally amoral. It just is. If there's an avalanche, it doesn't care if skiers are caught in it or not. It doesn't matter. So this is the energy that's created the body, that the body is made of, that all form is embodied. And in these practices, let's just come to a stop. Even in this one, so our attention's focused down. So we're in contact with these most fundamental, powerful, rugged energy that's unstoppable. It's the energy that creates solar systems and galaxies and so on. So that, and then as that comes up, as we intentionally bring that up sort of into the belly, we're refining it. So this is refining the chi. And so this is moving sort of from physics to biology. So this is the energy of life. And this here is embracing the womb of life. So if you have a female body, if you have a womb, you're embracing the womb, which goes all the way back through the mothers and grandmothers, all the way back to the origins of life. And if you don't have a womb, if you're male, then the navel is there, which connects us to our mother's womb. So this through the feminine line, the yin line, connects us all the way back. And this is a refinement of that coarse energy into life forms. Okay. And then as we move up, I'm not going to go through this in detail, but as we move up, the energy becomes more refined and more complex. So we move up to the heart, the middle dantian. This has to do with relationships. This is our relational life. And this gets very, very deep and very complex. So, animals have relationships, and humans have more complex relationships. And the chi is finer. And then as we move up, then we get into the abstract realm, the non-physical realm, the realm of the mind. And the chi is even finer yet. And then going up, it becomes even finer, and it segues into spaciousness or boundlessness. And so that's sort of, just how it is. That's how it appeared to the ancients. So the earth was solid and heavy, and the sky was open and boundless. And so as we're moving and feeling and moving this chi, this awareness of this energy, we're actually inhabiting all of these different sort of types of chi or levels of chi. So in Qigong, the sort of the gross part is the movement. Movement is very central to Qigong, and it brings us right into the body, whatever this movement is. And then as we reduce the movements, we go more into stillness. And then we're in touch with something more subtle. And then as we begin to work with the stillness, we get into increasingly subtle states of energy. Okay, so I just had to get that off my chest because that's the context, one of the contexts of what we're working with here. Okay, so like tonight, we're going to begin, we've already begun with standing, we're going to begin with movement, gross body movement, and we're going to segue into sitting and sitting movement. We're going to make those movements more subtle, and that's going to segue into meditation, into stillness. Okay, and then that will segue into boundlessness, and then we come back. And so this is sort of this is the motion of this. It's not about escaping everything and going off into la la land. It's about inhabiting the entire range of this chi, from very gross to very subtle. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So in addition to alignment of the body, we can move our attention, of course, anywhere. And so let's move our attention down to our feet where they're contacting the floor. And just notice that, the pressure, and we want it to be equal and even. And what my teacher, Trisha Yu, and others teach is that you actually extend your sense perception beyond the feet and extend it using the mind, extend it down into the earth as if you're a tree with roots. So we're dropping our attention with the out breath down. We feel the bottoms of the feet, keep going. So as if there's an entire root system that's supporting us. And she even named this rooting. And then with each out breath, we drop our attention into this root system. And we sense the pressure on the feet, which is gravity, which just makes us heavy. You can also, if you like, if you're a visual person, you can imagine that you're actually sinking into the earth somewhat. Not in quicksand, but that you're actually the bottom of your legs, the bottom is actually in the earth or in sand. Okay. That's for the out breath. And the in breath, we can move the attention up. In breath, move it up. And we can use your eyes here. Your eyes can be partly open or closed. You can move your eyes from looking down and move them and turn them 180 degrees, so turn them inward so they're looking inside. And in breath up, out the top, out breath down. Okay, and likewise at the top, we extend the sense perception out the top of that and up into the universe. This may take a few breaths to do. And that is almost like a root system too. It just goes out and becomes very diffuse. Okay, so if we do tree and spring, well, let's dip the knees, point down. So point to the body, in breath. Move the eyes up. Okay, and look up, look out, up, extend. This goes out in all directions, like a big tree. Okay, and then coming down, out breath. Okay, touch into the root system underneath. Point, okay, in breath. Okay, out breath. In breath. Out breath. Okay, breathe in. Just like a tree. The sap comes up, tree in spring. Eyes, look up. Hands, go up. Out, extend out. All around and down. Okay, let's do one more. So, you don't have to think too much. I'm breaking this down, but you don't have to think too much. You can just do the movement with the breath. Let's do a couple more. Let's do one more. And come back to standing. So what we just did, tree and spring, that movement was exactly the teaching that I took all those words to say. We're using the body to express and internalize that teaching of gross to subtle to very fine. But we don't have to understand any of that. Just doing the movement is enough. Okay? All right, let's open the back, bring that tension to the top of the head, and then let the head be heavy. Shoulders roll forward. Now use your eyes. The tension goes down the spine. Open, open, open. Rest. You can turn a little bit side to side, stretch out your sides if you want to. And the back is open. We're aware of the spine. Okay. Okay, now coming up. Okay, and then just as the head begins to come up, then the hands start to move, point to the center. In breath. Breathe normally. Now our attention's coming up. It's coming up the middle of the body or the spine. Eyes are moving. Okay, and look out through the top of the head. Extend way up. Okay, let's do two more. Moving the chi from the earth. Up, 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 up. Getting more and more and more refined, finer. Following the eyes out, very, very fine. Dissipates. One more, coming back down, coming into birth. In breath. Embodied. Ancestors. Relations. Mind. Cosmos. Out. And back down. All right, and this standing now, we're standing with the awareness of everything from the deep roots and the planet all the way up and out into infinity. All of that is here, is present. And now we can feel the expansion of the whole torso with the in-breath. And the relaxation with the out-breath. And now as we breathe out air, we breathe out, we expand out in all directions. It's not just vertical. In breath, fill up, out breath, out in all directions. So we're, in a sense, we're kind of inhabiting the space around the body. But there's still this vertical axis. But that's not all there is. It also, there is sort of a radiance in all directions. Okay, so we're just standing. It looks the same, but now the awareness goes from center of the earth up to the universe and out in all directions. Okay. Okay. Very good. Let's do this one. So this is, you're just going to lift the shoulder and turn in the direction of the shoulder you're lifting. Very good. Okay, and now let the palms face each other. And as you lift the shoulder, we're going to lift the arm. You can widen your stance if you want. And we begin this swaying and shift the weight, turn the waist. And the hands, the palms are facing opposite directions. And we're just going to swing this out to the side. We want to balance these up and down vertical things with side to side movements too. Because we're living in this space-time realm and we need to inhabit it, right? So now this is called turning the body to look at the moon. So actually we're going to turn the hips at the very height and just imagine your hands are kind of making a moon at the top, sort of as if there's this disc. But turning the body, shifting the weight, turning the waist. Okay, and the atmosphere, the attitude here is really one of joy. This is very liberating, very loose. It's very happy, this movement. It's very free. When there's a sense of spaciousness, there can be a sense of joy, freedom. I mean, we're doing this, but we're holding the full moon, 2 of them actually. So just enjoy this. It's just fun. All right, now we're going to go from gross to subtle. So we're just going to reduce all the movements little by little. And then we're going to end up just moving the shoulders a little as we started. Little by little. Come back into standing. And just notice. Now there maybe is more of a sense of the space around the body, side to side. Okay. So, and now this next one. So dip the knees and letting the hands come up. Here we go. So we're going to start with the right hand, turn it over, okay, and turn the hips and let it go behind you. Okay, left hand, turn. It's a very similar movement. We're shifting the weight a little and turning the hips. We're not throwing the hand out there. The body is just, the hand's just moving because of the hips and the thighs. Okay, so now we're inhabiting the space in front and behind. And this is just an enjoyable movement here. Okay. And let's reduce this. Till it just becomes the hands. Okay, and now maybe just investigate just the sensations in the hands. Now the tingling is, this is the chi, this is a sense of aliveness. You can feel it readily in the hands. Okay, now let's take and place one in front of the heart, the other in front of the belly. So we're internalizing the external and bringing it in. Okay, and let's return to standing. So I just want to do one more from the 7 movement morning routine, which we'll do sometime. But this is very, very, very ancient. And it's a physical enactment of what that first teaching was about. So we're going to start as if doing a backwash, okay? But when we get down to the ground or near the ground, we're just going to pretend to be grabbing or embracing some kind of a, like a watermelon-sized ball of light. We're going to bring that up, and then when we come up, we're going to bring that to the belly. Okay? So this is bringing earth chi to the lower dantian. So begin with an out breath and just go ahead and do a backwash. Arms will hang down. When you get near the ground, then just pantomime picking up this, can be like water or light, whatever it is. And as we straighten up, then we go into this embracing the womb posture. It's as if our hands are resting on the surface of a sphere, the center of which is in the center of the body. Well, this is literally bringing up this earth chi and creating ancestral chi. We're reenacting evolution here. Okay, so we're going to do this 4 times. So let go of the hands, backwash, lifting up this vibrant energy, bringing to the belly, bringing the attention to the belly. This is refining the chi. Now in this position, you're also aware of the chest and the head and so on. Okay, let's do 2 more. So backwash. Now we're not touching the body. The hands are maybe 3 or 4 inches in front. So embracing the womb of life. One with all life, going all the way back to the first single cell life forms. All of it. And one more time. Now this practice is called raising chi to the dantian. So this is ancestral chi. Here we're in touch with the womb in the body, or the mother's womb, and the grandmother's all the way back. We're linked, we're connected. All the way back, even through animals, plants. Okay, now the next one is dipping the knees. We're going to bring the hands up, and we're going to bring some of that up into the heart. And in doing so, it becomes more refined, it becomes finer, lighter. And here we're, so that this is embracing the heart. So the heart's circulating the blood, that's internal. but the lungs are bringing in and letting out air. So that's interfacing with the external, with the world. So this is relational. This being connected to all other beings. And just aware that in this moment, people are laughing and crying, being born and dying, experiencing tragedy and miracle. All over the world in this moment, everything is happening, and we are connected to it all. We're part of it. It's way too big to know, but we can feel it. And this goes front, back, sides. Our hands are in the front, but we're also wear behind. Okay, now let's repeat. So we're going to bring some of this up. We're going to do this 3 times. So refining the chi. So in the relational center, if you like, there are practices where you can bring in an image of someone that you're connected to here, and embracing them, if you like. Okay, and then dip the knees and come up. So one more time. So it's still in the belly very much, and we're bringing some of it, refining it into the heart area. So now there's this sort of glowing ball of energy in the heart and in the belly. And there's this whole root system. Okay. Now the ancients skipped ahead entirely. Okay. So now we're going to dip the knees again and let the hands come up. So lighting up the brain. Okay. And then opening to the upper dantian. So this is moving the energy up into the universe, becoming even finer. And so now there's this continuum of light or energy from the stars all the way down through the body, becoming more and more dense and heavy as it goes down. And so you can imagine embracing this ball of light, sort of starlight, sunlight, moonlight. And this is the oneness. Okay. And now let's go ahead and open the hands. Opening this one white light into a rainbow between the palms, connecting the palms. So we're holding here, this is a gesture of acceptance of the manifest realm of our life of this world. That every permutation is here. Okay. So this is in tree and spring, this is sort of the leaves, branches. Okay. So, and dipping the knees. So let's fold this up again. So now, so we're sort of doing this, or sort of embracing this column of light, which connects the universe and the earth through the body. And then as we bring the hands down, the palms are facing the body, and I bring the hands down. So we're filling the body with the light of the stars. And so here, then, just noticing, so the awareness of all of reality. And you can imbue this with whatever attitude you like, contentment, happiness, joy, equanimity, acceptance, fill in the blank. And there's an atmosphere here. Okay, and then just turn the palms facing each other. So we're standing in standing position 1. And that this contains all of that then in this system. And just notice sensations in the body. Okay, very good. Now let's go ahead and get our stool, or sit on your cushion or your chair. If you're sitting on a chair with a back, then if you cannot lean against the back, that's good. If you need to, that's okay. Okay, and then dropping our attention down to the place where we first feel the in-breath, which is probably around the perineum, very deep in the torso, very low. And that point sort of blossoms out into the in-breath. It expands, sort of flowers. The point is kind of like a bud. And then the in-breath, it sort of flowers. And then it sort of closes up again. Or the flower can just release all the petals at the peak, and then a new bud forms. So this is in the belly, deep down. Okay. So let's find that point, and now let's begin to make a circle with the upper body. So you draw a line from that point straight up to the head, and we're going to take that line and kind of stir it, sort of like stirring a pot. We're going to move the head, the shoulders, the upper body in a little increasing size. So we're kind of making a spiral in a sense, because we're getting a little bigger each time. Okay, very good. And now let's, as we go forward, let's bend the waist. So we're bending forward. And then as we go back, lean back. So we're making this even bigger. It's a big circle. We're leaning back. We're leaning forward. And when we lean forward, it forces the air out, doesn't it? And so that's an exhale. Lean back, in breath. So move with your breath. Inhale back, exhale front. You can make this, you can bend quite a bit, particularly to the front. And let your head be loose. So you're kind of leading this movement with your chin. So you're tucking your chin when you're back, and you're pushing your chin out a little bit when you're front. So the chin is making a big circle, tucking at the back, extending at the front. Now try not to push with your legs if you can. Just move your, use your abdominal muscles and just move your body. Okay, and now as we always do, let's just reduce the movements little by little. And let the spiral get smaller and smaller. Drop the attention down to that point. So there's this spiral that we've created, and then there's this vertical alignment. Okay, and in touch with that bud, that flower bud again. That's not just the belly, it's the chest too, the whole torso expands and contracts in all directions, front, back, sides, like a balloon. Okay, and now it's very small movements at first and bigger, and make the circle the other direction. So same thing. So you can lead with the chin, with the shoulders, just making this big circle. Pumping the breath. Okay, and then let's reduce the movement little by little. Make it more and more subtle. Till you come back to stillness, uprightness. Okay, the chin is dropped. You can imagine those warm hands, one on each side of the head, kind of lifting the head, setting it gently on top of the spine. And then feeling that alignment from the earth all the way straight up, out the top of the head, all the way up into the universe. When the belly and the chest and the head are all aligned, then the perineum and the crown of the head open. And then there's this free movement of every level of this life force energy. And if you like, you can use the breath and the eyes. Looking internally, if you look up. And then with the breath, move the eyes down inside of the spine. Move the eyes up. In breath, up. Out breath, down. And now let's expand the body beyond the skin. The expansion goes out in the space around the body, either with the in-breath or the out-breath, either way. If you're breathing out, you breathe out in all directions. You breathe in, you feel your body expand, expand out. Front, back, sides. And there's that point, that rosebud down deep in the torso. And there's another one of those in the chest. It's a little different though. And those are lined up. And the whole body is opening and closing like a flower. And every cell is a flower. And the flower of this being is in the midst of an infinite field of flowers. And all of this movement, the breath and so on, occurs within a greater stillness. Just like the body is still, but the heart is beating, this whole system of breathing, this whole body, all this movement, and these flowers and so on, it's all kind of contained in this stillness. If thoughts begin to intrude, then go into the body and just move the body a little, refresh the posture a little, and the thought will vanish. If we get a little out of alignment, we'll drop down into more into the thinking mind. And if that occurs, it's just fine, it's natural. And just move the head a little bit, or make that spiral just a little bit. Or you can move a lot if you want to. Movement is fine. Movement is chi awareness too, just as much as stillness. Okay, so our attention, in a sense, is kind of vacillating between being totally present in this physical body and being present with this sort of expanded awareness. And one just flows right into the other. Just like the in-breath flows into the out-breath. Okay. So we're going to come back fully. So maybe begin by just moving a little bit. Move the upper body. Move the shoulders, whatever you want. Whatever feels good. Just sort of loosen things up. The body might be a little stiff. And let go of the hands if they're in a mudra. And have the eyes come fully open. And posture still upright. Okay, so now all our sense doors are open, the eyes are open, and ears, and we're totally present. Okay, very good. So now we'll go into our closing routine that we do every time. So begin with one clap of the hands. So ready, 1, 2, 3. Clap the hand, make heat, and then place the heels of the hands in the eye sockets, make circles, massage the eye sockets. Okay, we can put our fingertips at their hairline and just gently draw down, massage the face a little. Or you can comb back the hair, either way. Okay, let's put our fingertips on the temples and make circles. You can press here. Okay, and massage the ears a little bit. And brush down the upper body. And my teacher, Chun-Yi Lin, says you always make soft fists and then reach back and tap your kidneys. And according to the teachings, this solidifies all of the practice we just did into the body, into the cells of the body. Okay, and then use the backs of your hands, massage your kidneys. Okay, and thank you for your practice. So I'm going to stop the recording and put on my ear plugs, and then if you have questions or comments, that's fine. If you'd like to leave now, that's fine too.